Good morning, students. Next topic in physics is mechanical properties of the fluids. Fluids, anything that can flow is called as a fluids. Generally we take is solids and liquids and gases. Solids behave as a fluids only under the conditions. When you apply the external force, if it exceeds the stress crossing that elastic limit, whenever the elastic limit crosses during the plastic property, solids also flow. Means wires expand just like the fluids. Free expansion will be there. That is also called as the fluid properties, but we don't discuss that here. Here we are discussing only pure liquids and gases that flows. Question number 75. Brass sphere is kept inside the liquid. Suspend the liquid with the help of a thread. They asked is what is the tension of the thread. Any object kept in the liquid, if it is floating on the surface or sinking in the inside, or just suspended anywhere where you are putting, depends on the density of the solid compared to the density of the liquid. It is called as a relative density. Relative density is nothing but equal to density of the solid by density of the liquid. If you are taking the water, we take it as the density of the water. If relative density is, or we can take it as the density of the solid, is more than density of the liquid, it sinks. It sinks. These are the Archimedes principle of the float, for the object to float or sink. Next, if the density of the solid is less than the density of the liquid, then it floats. Then density of the solid, if it is equal to density of the liquid, both are equivalent, then it is called suspended. Wherever you put it, it remains there itself in the liquid. In the first case, it sinks. Wherever you put it, try to go to the bottom of the water or liquid. If it is less than the solid, density of the solid is less than the liquid, no, it try to float upwards directions. It's called as a buoyant force will be acting on the any object which is kept in the liquid. If that both are densities equal, means that will be suspended anywhere we are putting it. But if you're dropping the object, this one is sinking, no problem. If these two cases, if you drop from the top from the air into the liquids, if just the surface is visible, that is supposed to indicate that means it sinks into the water liquid such that only surface is visible to us. Just surface visible means both densities are equivalent. If lighter body, if you have taken, means lesser density body, if you have taken, means it floats in the liquid such that more of the solid is outside the liquid, means floating into the air, and remaining part will be inside the liquid. You can also mention of the relative densities. Relative density of the solids, instead of density we can compare with the relative density also, same procedure. Relative density of the solid compared with the relative density of the liquids. Now, whenever the object is kept in the liquids, it displaces some liquid to the sideways. Solid kept inside the liquid, it displaces this much amount of liquid to the side to occupy that volume. The amount of liquid displaced has a mass equal to ml into g. This is the weight of the liquid that went to the sideways. If you take this completely brim, means container is taken to the liquid with a brim, means surface, up to the surface, and you are now taking the block and immersing it into the liquid. This much amount of the volume of the liquid will flow outside. The volume of the liquid flowing outside is equals to volume of the solid we have taken here. The mass into mass of the liquid into weight, we will take it as a volume of the solid is equals to volume of the liquid, and calculate the volume of mass of this liquid, that is mass of the liquid into g, that is the weight of the liquid you will get. Mass of this liquid you find out with the balance, and into g is nothing but weight of the liquid. This is equals to the weight of the solid that is decreasing. Actual weight of the solid is ms into g, but this much amount of the weight of the liquid decreased from that. The remaining weight appears as the apparent weight, we call it. This is nothing but equal to apparent weight. Apparent weight is nothing but equal to the actual weight mg minus mass of the liquid into g. This is nothing but equal to called as a buoyant force. Fb, we take it as a buoyant force is nothing but equal to weight of the liquid displaced to sideways. This buoyant force will be acting, or buoyant means float here. This buoyant force acts upward directions against the gravity. So when a buoyant force is upward direction, actual weight is downward. So apparent weight is nothing but equal to this plus this equal to this. So apparent weight, what happens is nothing but equal to the actual weight msg minus buoyant force. Buoyant force is nothing but equal to mass of the liquid into g. Mass is nothing but equal to volume of the liquid into g. Volume of the liquid equal to volume of the solid equivalent. Therefore, we can also take it as volume of the solid into, but the density of the liquid into g is nothing but equal to buoyant force. This point you need to remember. Buoyant force is nothing but equal to volume of the object only into, but the density of the surrounding medium to take it. The density of the liquid means there is density of surrounding medium. This point is applicable even if you take the hydrogen balloon in the air. Air is surrounding density. density of the air you have to take, and balloon inside what you are taking is the density of the hydrogen or helium, which is less than that of the surrounding density. Then it floats upward directions against gravity. It acts only when that G is present. Inside the freely falling lift or inside the orbiting satellite, apparent G is 0. There is no buoyant force in such cases. So apparent weight is nothing but equal to true weight minus buoyant force. So coming back to this, the best substitution of all that what you get here is the apparent weight, that is a apparent weight. Apparent weight is nothing but equal to true weight, mass of the solid into G minus buoyant force. By substituting this buoyant force relationship, what you get here is mass of the solid into G, this is the air, into 1 minus density of the liquid by density of the solids. Density of the solid by density of the liquid is called as a relative density. Relative density is nothing but equal to density of solid by density of liquid. But if you take the specifically liquid as water, then same relative density is also called as a specific gravity. Specific gravity, if you are talking any solid, means it is the ratio of the density of solid by density of water. If density of the water is nothing but equal to 1 gram by cc, so density of the water is 1 gram per cc, then in that case density of the solid by density of the water, this is one only you will get. If the relative density is given as a 0.8, 0.9 like this. If the relative density is 0.8 means the density of the solid is less than that of the density of water. If the given density, relative density is 3, means the density of the solid is 3 times more than the density of the water, it means it sinks. If it is given relative density is 0.8, 0.9 like that, means density of the solid is less than water, it floats. And for water, relative density is density of the water is 1 gram per centimeter cube. So density of the solid equal to by 1. So density of solid become by 1 equal to 0.8 means density of solid is also equal to 0.8. That point you have to remember for the safety, for saving of the time. Whenever you get the relative density is numerically equal to density of the solids or any materials. Relative density equal to density only in CGS system, not in SI system. Why? Because density of the water is 1 gram per cc in CGS, but if you take in SI system, it will be thousands kg per cubic meter. If you are taking SI system, you must take that consideration. Relative density is nothing but density of the solid by density of water. If it is 0.5, 0.8, no units for the relative density. But if you take in SI system, then this multiplied with the density of the solids equal to 0.8 into density of the water is 10 to the power of 3 you will get in terms of kg per cubic meter. But in CGS system, relative density is numerically equal to density only, directly we can take. So next, apparent weight, coming back to this relation problem linked. Apparent weight when the object is kept in the liquid is nothing but equal to m prime g prime. We can take this in the liquids is equals to true weight in the air. This is a true weight, we take it as in the air. Actually true weight you won't get even in the air also, because air, in the air also object loses some weight according to Archimedes principle. Any object immersed in the liquid loses its weight, which is equals to where the liquid displaced. So if you put in the air also, some air will be displaced sideways. That's why if you take 1 kg cotton and 1 kg iron, cotton, both are 1 kg, mass are equal. But if you are finding the weight in the balancer, this occupies more volume, means loss of weight will be more here. This here in this case loss of weight is less. So this appears to be more lighter than that of iron. The reason is more volume, more loss of weight appears to be, more air will be displaced sideways. Apparent weight m prime g prime equal to true weight msg, the mass of the solid into g into 1 minus density of liquid by density of the solids. So here G common cancel out, you can find only the masses. But question in this case, if they ask masses, what is the apparent mass? If you take any solid, if you go into the water, that weight appears to be less. Weight appears to be less. If G is taken means mass also appears to be less. But this amount we can take. If you take in terms of the weight also we can compare, or mass also we can compare. For our problem, coming back to our problem, you are asked to find the tension. Tension means force. Force means G also we have to consider. Don't cancel that G. Total mass into G we are taking it. Mass is given of the brass sphere is given as 100 gram weight. 100 gram weight, when you mention the gram weight indicates or kg weight. Gram weight or kg weight indicates what is gravitational mass, means how much force it can exert. Into G, acceleration to gravity will give the weight actually. So what we are taking is a mass only. 100 gram weight if they give means mass, take it as 100 grams. Convert into kg, 100 in 10 to the power of minus 3 kg, that is in the air they mentioned. Actually air, not, you want to get the perfect weight of the true weight of the any solid, no, you must take in the vacuum. Only in the vacuum true weight you will get, but not in the air or gases or in the liquids. You will get only apparent weight due to the loss of weight by the surrounding liquid or gases. Next, specific gravity of the liquid is given as 0.8. Density of the liquid by density of water is 0.8. So what is the density of liquid you will get is 0.8 into 1. means 0.8 gram per cc. Directly we can take density. Cc indicates centimeter cube here. Density of water is 1 gram per cc, therefore density of liquid is 0.8 into 1 is 0.8 gram per cc. Especially the brass is given as 0.8 only. 8 means 8 gram per cc you will get. Next, tension in the rope is apparent weight. Apparent weight is nothing but equal to true weight in the air into 1 minus density of the liquid by density of solids. So we will get is 1 minus density of liquid by density of solid. Substituting this mass 110 to the power of minus 3 into g, 9.8, which is given in the question as 1.8, 9.8, otherwise 10 given is 10 Newton into 1 minus density of the liquid is 0.8 by density of the solid is 8. This is 0.1 you will get, 0.9 you will get into multiplication. You will get the tension as 0.882 newtons. If they ask only what is the apparent mass means g you don't take. Then gram weight or kg weight you can express. Next, question number 76. Cube floating in liquids. When cube is floating in the liquid, they mentioned floating in the liquid in the sense previously completely immersed. We said completely immersed means density of solid is more than the density of the liquid, but weight will be reduced by the amount equal to buoyant force. Here the liquid is applying the buoyant force is able to balance complete weight of the solid. So how much weight of the liquid displaced, how much is floating, how much is inside, solid is inside the liquid, that much amount of weight of the liquid itself is able to balance the total weight of the solid. For example, iron, if you take iron density is more than the water, it sinks like that. But same iron if you take in mercury, it floats. Why? Because the small amount of mercury which is displaced, mercury density is very high compared to the solid. If the density of liquid is more than the solid, that liquid pushes the solid upwards only, away from the gravity. So here this much amount of liquid able to balance the total weight of the liquids. That means buoyant force is nothing but equal to the weight of the liquid which is immersed by the solids. Buoyant force is nothing but equal to balanced here. Balanced condition means it is equilibrium condition. Equilibrium we are taking up the floating conditions. Floating condition taken means buoyant force. This is the buoyant force is equals to weight of the solids. Buoyant force is nothing but equal to mass of the liquid into g. That means weight of the liquid displaced equal to mass of the into g cancels. Mass equal to volume into solid of the mass equal to volume into density. Density equal to mass by volume, so mass equal to volume and density of the liquids. Mass of the solids. This is the density of the liquid, sorry. Mass equal to volume into density is equals to mass of the solid. You are asked to find out is mass of the solid is how much. Mass of solid is equals to volume of the liquid inside. Volume of the liquid inside this much portion. Total is cube. 50. Question says that 15 centimeters inside, 5 centimeters outside. Total is 20. 20, 20, 20 actually supposed to be, but this is remaining 20, and this is also 20. So height is 15, length 20, breadth 20, height is only 15 centimeters for the liquid. Here this portion is only liquid portion. This is the air portion. This is solids. So mass equal to volume of the liquid which is displaced by the solids. Length into breadth into height in the liquid you are taking. This is nothing but equal to height inside the liquid I mentioned here into density of the liquids. Into density of the liquids. This will be length 20, 20 into 15 centimeters. Centimeter into centimeter, centimeter, centimeter cube. Everything is in CGS system. Result also I am mentioning in the CGS and finally converted into SS system because density directly taken in gram per cc. So density of the liquid is equals to 0.8 gram per cc and length into breadth into height is 20 into 15 centimeter cube. Centimeter cube cancels. So 24 400 into 15. 15 4s are 60. 60 100 you will get. Or 6000 into density is 0.8. The result is only in terms of the grams you will get is 48 into 10 to the power of 3. Sorry, one decimal is there, no, here one decimal is here, cancels. 4800 grams you will get. Converting into kg, 4.8 kgs. Next 78 question. There is a container, or we can take it the can with a tight cap. Inside pressure is low, pressure is there. Outside pressure is 1 atmosphere, inside pressure is less than that. So air will always try to travel from high pressure to low pressure. So high atmosphere presses the cap lid inwards. So if you want to open it up, you have to apply the force is related to the change in difference in pressures. Pressure is nothing but equal to force by area. So difference in pressure if you take note, that resultant pressure is supposed to be equal to force by area. Area of the lid what is given is 8 centimeters square given, converted into square meters. 1 centimeter equal to, or 1 meter equal to 10 to the power of 2 or 100 centimeters. 10 to the power of 2 centimeters. 1 centimeter is 10 to the power of minus 2 square meters. 1 centimeter is 10 to the power of minus 2 meters. So 10 to the power of minus 2 square means 10 to the power of minus 4 square meters is area. Force applied is 48 newtons on the lid with the help of the screwdriver or any tool you can use. Outside pressure is given as 1 atmospheric pressure. 1 atmospheric pressure is approximately 10 to the power of 5 pascals. Actually 1 atmospheric pressure is nothing but the pressure exerted by the atmosphere on the earth surface. Earth surface has the atmosphere approximately 100 kilometers. The pressure exerted is nothing but equal to HDG or use. 100 kilometers it is. 100 into 10 kilo means 10 to the power of 3. 100 into 10 to the power of 3 meters. But density is actually not uniform, please. Density is more, air density is more near to the earth's surface. As you go up, density of the air goes on decreasing. But average density, we take the same value. The pressure exerted by this air column, any air column of particular area at the bottom of the sea level is nothing but equal to 1 atmospheric pressure. That is equals to height of the liquid and density of the liquid into G. Here not liquid, we are taking the air. So density of the air we have to use. Height, density into acceleration into gravity is because the pressure. Pressure do not depend on the area of cross section. It only depends on the height of the fluids. Liquids or gases, density of the liquid fluid, and G, acceleration to gravity. So height, if you take 100 kilometers, density of the air is approximately 1.3 kg per cubic meters. 1.3 kg as units. G 9.8. If we multiply, this will be, you will be getting this pressure as equals to 1.01325 into 10 to the power of 5 pascals or Newton per square meter is 1 atmospheric pressure. 1.01325 is the exact value, but we don't need exact value. Approximately we take it as 10 to the power of 5 pascals. Some cases we require exact values, but here we don't need exact value. We can take the pressure as 10 to the power of 5 pascals. 10 to the power of 5 pascal is also called as a bar. 1 bar, BAR bar, is equals to 10 to the power of 5 pascals. So here pressure equal to force by area. 48 by area is 8 into 10 to the power of minus 4. If you substitute here, you will get as equal to 6 into 10 to the power of 4 pascals, converting into atmospheric pressure. So 1 atmospheric pressure is approximately equal to 10 to the power of 5 pascals. So 1 pascal equal to 1 by 10 to the power of 5 atmosphere. So 1 by 10 to the power of 5 ATM atmosphere. This will become equal to 10 to the power of 5 is 0.6 atmospheres you will get. Next, delta P, change in pressures, difference in pressures. Difference in pressure is nothing but equal to P outside minus P inside is equals to F by A, that is 0.6 atmospheres. Result is given atmosphere, so we take in terms of atmosphere, otherwise you can take in terms of pascals or Newton per square meters. Pressure in, if you take it to the right side, this part becomes go to the left side. Pressure out minus F by A is nothing but the pressure inside. Pressure outside is 1 atmosphere minus 0.6 atmosphere is F by A is equals to 0.4 atmospheres is the pressure inside before opening the lids. After opening the lid, inside pressure, outside pressure will be equal. Next, question number 80. You are taking the two different solids A and B. If they are immersed in, if they are kept in the liquid, first A is floating 1/4 immersed inside and B is floating 3/5 immersed inside. And what is the fraction? The fraction inside formula directly you have to remember this. The fraction of the solid floating with inside is nothing but equal to V in by V total is equals to density of the solid by density of the liquids. This is a reciprocal of relative density. This is nothing but reverse of relative density. If they given relative density, directly you can find out fractions or densities also you can find out. How much floating outside compared to the total volume we can take inside. If you want to get the fraction outside, 1 minus V in V by V out by V total will give the fraction outside. That means this becomes equal to 1 minus dl by ds becomes equal to fraction outside. That formulas you have to remember, but fraction inside means you can find out fraction outside. 1/4 is inside means 3/4 is outside. Like that also you can calculate using only one formulas. Next, for A, what they mentioned is 1/4 is immersed, means dl by ds, density of the liquid by density of solid equal to 1/4. That means this volume V inside is equals to 1/4. First case what is mentioned is V in is equals to 1/4 of the V total. V total is 1/4 by. That means V in by V total becomes equal to V in by V total is 1/4 means dS by dS equal to 1/4 for A. Similarly for B, what they mentioned is 350 is immersed in the liquid. dL by dsB is equals to 3/5 ratio will get. They ask you to find out what is the ratio of the density of the solid A and B. So dL becomes equal to B, density of the liquid is same here, therefore dL is equals to dSA by 4 is also equal to dSB into 3/5. So dSA by dSB becomes equal to, take the cross multiplication of this, you will get 1/4 into 3/5, sorry, 4 goes to the right side multiplication, 4 into 3/5 which is 12/5 you will get. That is density of A by B. If they ask by B by A, 5/12 you will get. Next 85th question. Liquid is flowing in the pipes of unequal area of cross sections. The mass flux means amount of mass flowing per second, or volume flux, amount of volume of the liquid flowing per second remains constant through these pipes. Whatever liquid is coming has to go from the outside, whatever is the area of cross section. Through that, what happens if the area of cross section changes, velocity also changes. This is called the equation of continuity. According to the equation of continuity, this area into velocity is called as a rate of flow of fluids. Rate of flow of the fluids is nothing but equal to area into velocity remains constant. It can be also taken as volume per time, meaning is same only. That is nothing but rate of flow is area into velocity equal to constant. But in this question what they mentioned is velocity is given, diameter is given. Diameter is twice the radius. So if you take the radius diameter ratio, radius ratio, you will get the same thing. 2 cancels, you will get R1 by R2. That is nothing but equal to 4/2. 4 centimeter is the bigger pipe, 2 centimeter is a smaller pipe connected together, and fluid flowing from high pressure to low pressure difference. So A1 V1 is equals to A2 V2. We have to apply for this kind of problems. Area equal to pi r square, pi cancels, into V1 is equals to A2 is pi r2 square into V2, and V2 we want is equals to R1 by R2 whole square into V1. Radius ratio is equals to diameter ratio, same, you don't have to convert into radius. If you want, you can do also radius, this half of this 4 centimeters diameter means 2 centimeters is radius, 2 centimeter diameter means 1 centimeter is the radius, half you can take, or directly you can substitute here 4/2 square. This becomes equal to 2 square. 2 square is 4 into V1 is 5 meter per second in the bigger pipe. Then the smaller pipe, the velocity is 20 meter per second. So here 5 meter per second means in the smaller pipe it becomes equal to 20 meter per second. So in any pipe, if you this hose pipe, water piping, when planting pipes, so if you put a finger here, the area of cross section is decreasing, therefore velocity increases. Same thing for the sprayers. In the sprayers also, in this case of the sprayers, water sprayers, in the cans, air is pressure inside, and the cap you will find very small nozzle, very small hole. When area is less, when area is less, the liquid comes out with a high velocity. Whenever the velocity increases again, that area of cross section further decreases, so they are broken into small droplets. More velocity, small area of cross sections you can take. Next problem, 86th one. It is related to the aeroplane wing. Aeroplane wing problems are very important based on the Bernoulli's principle. Bernoulli's equation related to conservation of energy. According to that, for fluids have the 3 types of energies. One is called as the kinetic energy, another one is called as the potential energy related to mgh, kinetic energy half mv square, and also one more energy is called as the pressure energy will be there. Pressure energy is nothing but pressure into volume is called as a pressure energy. Kinetic energy is half mv square. Another one is potential energy is mgh. It's related to the height from the ground. If the level flow is there, water pipe for example is horizontal to the ground, then potential energy is same everywhere. Kinetic energy may change depending on the pressure differences. The fluids always try to travel from high pressure to low pressure. So in the total pressure energy per unit volume, pressure energy is pressure into volume. Pressure energy per unit volume is per cubic meter. If you take in this pressure by volume becomes equal to P only. Pressure energy per unit volume is pressure, and kinetic energy per unit volume is nothing but equal to half rho v square you will get. Converting mass into density equal to mass by volume, because throughout the fluid what remains constant is rate of flow of the fluid remains constant, amount of fluid volume of the fluid flowing per second remains constant, density of the fluid is also constant. Density is constant, it's called as a incompressible fluids, but gases are actually highly compressible, though you will apply approximately same formulas for the gases also, air also, but liquids less negligibly compressible. Kinetic energy per unit volume related to half rho v square will get, and potential energy mgh per unit volume becomes equal to rho gh. So this pressure energy per unit volume, kinetic energy per unit volume, potential energy per unit volume remains constant at every point. Or P1 half rho v1 square rho g h1 is equals to P2 plus half rho V2 square plus rho g h2 at two different points, any points we can take. So that energy remains constant. If height is constant, this part is also constant, then we will take P plus half rho is equal to constant. That we are going to use for the aeroplane wing. Aeroplane wing has a convex surface or curved surface at the top and flat at the bottom, and aeroplane is just a pipe, horizontal pipe, hollow pipe, inside people will be sitting, and it is fixed with the wings. Wing cross section should have like this, curved on the top and flat at the bottom. Due to that reason, what happens when it is moving forward direction, then air molecules travel with a different velocity on the top and bottom. Then the top it has traveled more length than at the bottom at the same time. Due to that reason, if not traveled, what happens is vacuum is created here. When air molecules are not there, means vacuum is created. So to that vacuum, it means zero pressure. That pulls attracts the air molecules with more speed at the bottom. Due to the reason, on the top curved surface will have the more velocity at the bottom, and more velocity means height is level almost constant we take here. So h constant we take approximately. Then if the pressure this P plus half rho v square equal to constant, if the pressure increases, velocity decreases, and vice versa. Here velocity is increasing means pressure decreases. On the top velocity is more than the bottom. More velocity, less pressure. So on the top low pressure is greater compared to the bottom, that atmosphere pressure on the bottom. That high pressure pushes the wing upwards. Along with the wind, aeroplane is also pushed upward directions. The force exerted produced here because of the difference in pressures. Pressure is nothing but equal to force by area. Here the difference of pressure from the bottom to top is equals to force by area. This force is produced because of when the wind is blowing or wing is in motion, therefore it is called the dynamic lift. Whereas the static lift is the Bernoulli's principle term. We will take the static lift is the buoyant force acting upwards is equals to weight of the liquid displaced when the solid is immersed in the liquids or fluids is called as a static lift. But this is a dynamic lift. While in motion we consider the dynamic lift. So that change in pressure is nothing but equal to bottom pressure Pb minus P top delta P. This delta P is nothing but equal to pressure at the bottom minus pressure at the top is nothing but equal to change in pressure, that is delta P is equals to force by area. Force itself is the dynamic lift, it's called as lift. Force has a different names, lift, thrust, etc. This half rho, this is the density of the air. This is the density of the air, not a P, please get with the symbols. This is a rho, density of the air into V square differences. Two different points you are taking here, V2 square minus V1 square means high velocity square minus low velocity square. Always, they may not mention top and bottom, which one is top, which is bottom. Always remember, just by the data you must be able to identify that top velocity is more than the bottom. So 80 square minus 60 square. Half rho, density of the air is given as 1.3 kg per cubic meter. So force equal to this whole quantity into area. Area is given as area of the wing is 4 meters square. Calculation will give 7280 newtons or 7.28 kilonewtons. They may ask the same question. One pressure is given, other pressure they may ask you find out. So delta P equal to P bottom minus P top. You can find out from this relation. Next is the aeroplane has to run on the runway to get this difference in the velocities in the top and bottom. And when the aeroplane is flying at the uniform level at the same height, then same height means upward force, that is a lift, dynamic lift. Upward force is supposed to be equal to downward force, that is nothing but equal to weight. And four aeroplanes have the four forces naturally, generally. What are the forces acting is forward force, that is the thrust provided by the propeller rotation or by the jet propulsions. Jet means hot air gas is pushed backward direction. The reaction forces push the aeroplane forward direction. That is a thrust, it is called as a. That is also a force. But air resistance opposes this motion, that is called the drag. It is also called the fluid friction. To reduce the fluid friction, the aeroplane surface is streamlined in shape. This is called a streamlined shape, so air molecules can simply slide over the surfaces. Cars are also designed to have a streamlined shape because they are designed to travel at high speeds. So four forces are acting on it. Drag is opposing the motion, thrust is forward directions. If it is traveling with the uniform velocity, forward force equal to backward force. If it is the thrust exactly equal to drag, the aeroplane travels with uniform speed or uniform velocity. Next, if the upward force equal to downward force, it travels at the same height from the ground. Level flight, it's called as a level flight. Same question they may ask you. Dynamic lifts or one pressure given, other pressure they may ask you to find out. And also they may ask them what is the weight of the aeroplane, or they may ask what is the mass of the aeroplane. So this force F is equals to weight. When the level flight is there means just a minimum force required to lift it upwards from the ground is also same formula, F equal to mg. So this is equals to mg. From that you can find even the mass of aeroplane. Next question is 90th one. A jar with liquid spinning. You are taking the container with the liquid and is spinning about this vertical axis passing through the center. Then all the liquid molecules are thrown away due to the inertia of direction, that is a centrifugal force we can say. and at the end point the height raised is more compared to that of the bottom. The liquid type surface takes a parabolic shape. It is. The shape taken is a parabolic shape for this liquid, and radius of this is a circular cross section, and so radius is equals to r if you have taken. Then height of the liquid, they will ask you how much at the tip and ends compared to the center. Here this velocity difference, pressure at the atmosphere pressure throughout, so P is constant, take it out, half rho V square equal related to rho GH. In magnitude if you check up, V square equal to rho cancels, V square equal to 2GH. These are freely falling conditions, any object falling freely from height h. What is the final velocity at the bottom, or maximum reached if you are throwing the velocity V? Same formulas. V square equal to 2GH, and V is also equal to omega because the options given in terms of the omega terms, angular velocity of omega of rotation. V equal to omega r we have, so this becomes equal to omega square r square equal to 2GH. They asked is h. H is equals to omega square r square by 2G. This is very important formula, problem multiple times repeated, including aeroplane formula problems. Next problem, water tap meter reading. When meter showing the water is flowing out. So in this case, they mentioned the two cases. When tap is closed, what is the reading? When tap is opened, means water is flowing out, what is the reading? First case is pressure P1. When tap is closed, the pressure reading was showing it as 3.22 per of pascals, and velocity is 0, there is no flow. And tap open, when tap is opened, the pressure reading was 3.5 pascals, velocity is how much? Whenever the velocity increases, pressure decreases, reverse relations. Water reading, water density is 10 to the power of 3, means 1000 kg per cubic meter or 1 gram per cc. From this relation, delta P equal to half rho into V2 square minus V1 square, same relation we take here. Delta P is equals to half rho water here. Previously rho air for the aeroplane wings, here rho water equal to V2 square minus V1 square. Delta P, change in pressure is nothing but 3.5 minus 3 is 0.5 into 10 to the power of 5 pascals is equals to V2, V1 is 0 first case, and V2 only we need to take, that is you have to find out V2 square. You have to find out, this is going to be half into rho is 10 to the power of 3000. This will becomes equal to 0.5, so V2 square equal to 0.5 into 10 to the power of 5 into 2 cross multiplication by 10 to the power of 3. The result is 100. So V2 is equals to root of 100 is 10 meter per second. And coming back to this aeroplane wing, and bird wings also have the same area of cross section. Even some fishes which fly in the water also have, they soar into the air or fly just like they move like flying in the birds. They also have the same area of cross sections like torpedoes. Next, water falling from the tap. Water from opening tap, water is falling downwards. As it falls downward, velocity gradually increases. Due to the velocity increases means, according to Bernard's principle, if the velocity increases, pressure decreases in the previous case. But now you are taking the pressure constant, you are taking atmosphere pressure. As the height increases, the velocity increases. And if the velocity, in this case, as the height falling downwards, the velocity is increasing here. And whenever the area cross section they asked, here area of cross section more, here area of cross section is less. Why area of cross section less is by equation of continuity formula. What is the equation of continuity? Is A1 V1 equal to A2 V2. The rate of flow of the liquid, amount of flow, liquid flowing per second remains constant. So in the case you are given A1 near the tap mouth, the A1 is given as a 2 centimeters square, 2 into the power of minus 4 square meters, and velocity is given as 3 meter per second. And height it is falling through is 80 centimeters, means 0.8 meters. And velocity you have to find out, and area of cross section also you have to find out. Just equation of motion if you take V square equal to U square plus 2GH term, V2 square equal to V1 square plus 2GH. G is minus downwards, H is also downward direction, minus into minus becomes equal to plus only. So V1 is nothing but equal to, V1 is 3, V1 square is 3 square is 9 plus 2GH. G is given for this problem as a 10 in the question itself. 10 into height is 0.8, means this is going to be 16 you will get. 9 plus 16 is nothing but equal to 25. V2 is equals to 5 meter per second under root terms. Next is equation of continuity. If you take the equation of continuity, A1 V1 equal to A2 V2. First calculate the velocity, then you go for the areas cross sections. A1 equal to A2 V2. A2 you have to find out, which is nothing but equal to A1 V1 by V2. A2 is equals to, A1 is 2 centimeters square. Answer is given in terms of centimeters square. No need to convert it to meter square actually. 2 centimeters square into V1 is 3 meter per second and V2 is nothing but equal to 5 meter per second. Units will be cancelled here. So 3 to the 6, 6 by 5 is equals to 1.2 centimeter square. You will get his area of cross section. And as the height is increases, no, that may even break into small droplets also, which are having the small surface areas or area of cross sections. Next, water tank with a hole, water leaking out. This formula is called as a Torricelli. Torricelli open surface you are taking is equals to atmosphere pressure. It is 1 atmosphere pressure open surface. If atmosphere is not there, inner surface means pressure difference is different. Formula is there that you have to go through. If the this open part, open top, and open top is the atmosphere pressure. Here open side is there is a hole at the bottom. Outside is also 1 atmosphere pressure only. So here also pressure is same. Then but only height difference you are finding it. So velocity difference you will find. This water coming out of this hole has a velocity v equal to root of 2gh, v square equal to 2gh formula. Here also we have to use, and previously case here also we have taken. And freely falling body is also same. According to Torricelli's law, when high water is falling through the height h, it is similar to the freely falling body through the height h, has a velocity v equal to root of 2gh. This whole small hole is also called as a orifice. It is also called as a orifice. Orifice area of cross section is given as 4 millimeter square. 1 millimeter is 10 to the power of minus 3 meters. So squaring means 10 to the power of minus 6 square meters. That is the whole area. This hole is also called as a sometimes orifice. Height of the liquid from the hole is 5 meters above the hole. The velocity is root of 2gh. Calculation is 2 into g. G is given as equals to 10 units, SI units, 10 meter per second square, into height is 5. 5 into 2 is 10. 10 into 10 is 100. Root 100 is 10 meter per second. Next is rate of flow. Rate of flow of the liquid is nothing but equal to fluid is nothing but equal to volume per second is called as rate of flow. This is also equal to area into velocities. This is related to also rate of flow only. Area into velocities, that is equals to area V is given as 4 into 10 to the power of minus 6 into velocity is 10. The result is 4 into 10 to the power of minus 5 cubic meter per second. Units are cubic meter per second. Sometimes if they ask in liters, no, you have to take it as 1 liter is 10 to the power of minus 3 cubic meters. That is the volume terms.